Oh, yeah. Back scratcher. Wow.
2024 season. We are here. Week 1. Finally getting back to it. 5th year doing the Elders, which really makes us sound pretty old.
All right.
Some of us are in our 30s, though, but not all of us. So.
Yeah?
Not all of us.
I'm pretty sure we've gone through 2 whole seasons without having a single guest on. I feel like that needs to change. So we're bringing back the guest segment.
Let's do it too.
Oh, hey guys. Good to see y'all.
Good to see
Big man
you.
himself.
Yeah. Fan favorite guest.
Good to see y'all. Oh, the people have spoken. Granted, I know I'm probably the one that writes in the most, so I just sign under different names. That way
Yeah.
it looks like everybody in the league's participating.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. We appreciate it too.
Even though it's been so long, I think you were probably the guest the most often whenever we were doing it.
The camera really loves me. It usually adds 10 pounds. This time it's adding 20 pounds. I'm excited to be here. Ready for another season.
Yeah.
Crack at the ship.
Yeah. And speaking of which, you had a crack last year, fell short, or second time.
Yeah, I had too much crack last year. There was a fine line because it got me to the ship, but a little too much, you know,
Yeah.
you lose it.
I'm very familiar with losing in the championship week. So.
Hey.
You two
I
are
feel that.
literally the only two that have lost in the championship, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God. Wait.
Because Jacob lost one.
Where am I?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
So there's been 5 losses, and they're both sitting here.
That's right.
What's up?
It appears you decided to really try and rework your team, making a bunch of big trades before the season kicks off.
Yeah, something spoke to me. One day I woke up and I felt a trade in the movement. It was like I drank the water and I tasted Deebo Samuel, so I had to have him. You know, I'm not the biggest proprietor fan of Joe Mixon. He's got some legs. We're going to see if he can use them. And then Dalton Schultz, you know, I think he'll do fine as a replacement. I just had to see him go. I got a lot back for him. It was hard. But we talked to Laporta. We talked to his family. We told him it was going to be okay. You know, I've got half of the second round for next year.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Well, who would you say your dark horse is for playoff run this year?
Ooh, call me crazy, but Alex Apocalypse, which I don't know, what's his team? Dream Rotation, that's right.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because, you know, I just picture him smoking with his entire team now. But basically, his starting lineup looks pretty good now.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what he did or who he sucked up. No, and I'll tell you, it was slow and steady, but Garrett might have made his team a little more sharper around the edges, got some depth. The factor of divisions, you know, he might could pick up a couple more wins against some lower ranked teams if that's the case. Final dark horse candidate, Aaron, just because he's in the bottom division, because his team is more rounded out. It could be the bottom division dark horse coming in.
Yeah, I was looking at Aaron's team from last year. He should have made the playoffs and actually probably made a run last year.
Right.
So if he can put a couple more stronger starting lineups and that bench, 40 points on the bench, not leave 40 points on the bench, then yeah, he could definitely make the playoffs and make a decent run for sure.
Right, absolutely.
I looked at if we had played best ball last year, just put everybody's perfect lineup, I think he would have been the number 2 seed getting that bye week. So he got quite the team on his hands. He's just got to figure out how to set the right lineup.
And guess what? I got 3 of the guys from his team last year.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah.
May
So-
not be the best guys.
Well, Debo was one of those
It's
guys he had on the bench with like 40 points. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. His receivers were so good that he couldn't start them all. So he had the same issues Garrett with quarterback 2 years ago.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I got Dak Prescott from Garrett, benefited from the last year. Now I've got the rejects from Aaron's team. So my
Yep.
team,
Basically, anytime somebody has some trouble making decisions between two players, you're gonna make them a call.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you tired of starting Rashad White when he's only getting 10 points? Come on, Chris. I'll take Rashad White. I'll help you out. I don't know if Chris remembers, but I sent him a trade every week last year for Rashad
Nope.
White, and now we've got extended weeks to trade. He's gonna get a trade every week this season. Oh, it's a little wrinkled, but I got to throw this jersey on. Makes me
Yeah.
feel safe. We're talking about Rashad White. Maybe it'll be good luck.
I'm pretty sure Chris averages like one trade per year, so he was probably just out of trades last year. So if you can sneak
Well,
in there
you've
this
already
year-
traded with him this year.
Oh yeah, that was in January. He sent me his fourth for my fourth, so he's just trying to get his one trade per year.
He did it already. He did it on like January 3rd. He's
That's
like
hilarious.
Pam with his vacation days.
I get 10 vacation days a year. And this year I got to the third week in January.
Do you guys know any like dirty lint liquors?
Yes.
Yeah, live with one.
That was rude. But I got something to help you with that problem. Lint roller. But this is like a new invention coming out right now. What it is like little sticky tape. Like, look, you can catch the ball like Odell with these things. You can take lint off your shirts and everything. And then when it gets all, all kind of lint on it, peel it. Look.
Wow. Where can I buy 2 of these?
I'll sell you this one right now, $20. The second one you can probably get at Walmart, in your local flea market, probably.
Last
They
time I
are.
went to the flea market, I got ticks.
Yeah, so this is who we are sponsored by today. So watch out, dirty lint liquors. And yeah.
Let's get into week 1 games now. We'll start off with Aaron versus Mir. Aaron is 4-3 against Mir, but in the past 2 years since Mir has come back to this new team, they are 2-2. Pretty tight race. That was also the last 2 teams fighting for that playoff spot, so we're starting off with that fight.
That's a banger. I got it 133 to 117. Aaron's taking it.
Ooh,
All right.
pretty high scoring game though.
That is.
Yeah.
Gonna be for
you know,
Aaron's first game
I'm
with
feeling-
Joey B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think here's a bold statement across the league. I think everyone scores at least 90 points or higher week 1.
That'd be
All
much
right.
different than last week 1. Last week 1, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the median was like 82 points or something.
We're going to blow that out of the water.
That's what I like to hear. I like
I'm
points.
in.
We got a little elder matchup between me and old Jacob, and I suck against Jacob. He is the one person that I don't have a winning record against, and it's bad. I'm 3-7 against him.
Let's go. I mean, you can't even get a winning record after this year.
So you might as well not even try.
Yeah.
If I had to listen to the numbers in my head, Bo is coming out 136 to Jacob's 134.
Ooh.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight.
It's
And
gonna
it
be a
could be. I
heartbreaker.
could be. Hearing the numbers opposite, but that's what came to me.
Those numbers are coming. I don't know whose is whose.
I don't know who's thinking 711.
Then we got Garrett versus Alex, the 2 dark horses you brought up first.
Oh, dark horses early on, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, here's what I'll say. Whoa. All right. I've got Garrett coming out the gate. 111 flat. 3 ones. And then I got Alex. This week 1's going to be a slow wake up for him, but then he'll blossom throughout the season. So I'm going to give him the lowest score of the week with 92, but he breaks 90.
All right. All
I
right.
like it.
He's got to get used to all those new players on his team. Makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Probably not
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
chemistry to start it off with.
Yeah, cohesiveness
Right,
and
exactly.
things.
He just got some new receivers and running backs, just got to work them in there.
They're in the same division and they're rivals this year, so they are going to play
Oh.
3 times.
Mm.
After that, I would call this Game of the Week 1B. Everybody's looking forward to it, seeing if Chris can extend his record to 11-0 against Colt.
Wow, okay. Ooh. But here's the thing, man. Colton has a new team vibe I just can't explain. These grillers are scaring me. Week 1, I think the grillers caused the biggest upset in history. I'm talking 128 to Chris's 119. And that's only because Rashad White probably is not going to perform as well with him. And he wants to grill. He wants to use that new grill.
It's pretty obvious there's some hostility from Chris in this thing. Going 10-0, you can't not have a little bit of hatred for your opponent.
Absolutely. People have even said, it counters 9/11. But I don't,
That is what the people are saying.
You have a little bit of hostility towards Colt because nobody has ever scored 200 points on anyone except for you.
Well, here's the thing. It was so magical. It was like what you wake up to Christmas morning when you're 5. It's just bliss.
What would you equate Colt's morning to on that day?
Have you ever gotten trapped inside a garbage disposal?
That brings us to the real game of the week, the championship rematch between you two fellas in this call.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Lamar Jackson, Tyreek, McCaffrey. Good Lord, that big 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if Sam Darnold, this is not happening.
That's not a fun way to start a sentence.
So here's what I project. This is the highest scoring game of the week.
That feels right.
I'm going to go 155 for me. Yeah. What the hell?
Damn.
And then 162 for Kevin. I really think his team's going to come out hot and heavy. I'm going to keep up with him for a while, but on Monday night, he's going to run away from me. I can't do anything about it.
He's got McCaffrey Monday.
on. Yeah.
The McCaffrey Monday, oh my God. I'm going to be up by like 38. I'll be like, it's a great week, guys. And then he's going to get fucking 49. Just wait for the Sunday night gifts. You'll see.
With the recent trade, you actually do have a Monday night player, Debo. So,
Oh,
true.
that's
So,
right.
with
See,
that,
I can
you might be
memorize my
already
roster.
big brain in it here and not allowing Kevin to catch you on Monday now because of
Okay,
Debo.
so this could be all right. Okay.
It's crazy because Kevin's lineup is the exact same lineup he had in the championship, and your lineup, you only have your quarterback and 2 receivers from the championship. You have 5 new players starting.
Yeah, see, I would like to remind everybody, I limped into last year's playoff, and I just kept limping. I made it to the...
I'm going to ride with my old faithful lineup. I don't see myself making any changes. And I'm just going to lean on my MVP trio of Lamar,
That's-
Tyreek, and CMC. And
Yeah.
It's so scary when you say it out loud.
That's all the games for week 1.
Well, I'm glad we could get the season going with a little bit of chatter, and I know some of my comments are going to raise my eyebrows.
and if we
Eyebrows.
get the Colt
Angry
Grillers
eyebrow.
episode versus Chris,
I bet
He's
you he
gonna
has like
fillets.
3 grills. He's going to have like 3 different grills out there. He's going to have a
break out the Wagyu fillet for if he
Yeah.
meets Chris.
Maybe throw on some lobster too. You
beef.
Yeah.
Just shows up at Chris's house to grill for him.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, bud, I got you this.
That's pretty much it for week 1. Chase, you got any closing remarks for us?
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Go from there, wing it from there.
Okay. You know what they say? Wing it.
Yep.
Just out of quips.
Yeah, the cool kids say we'll wing it from there. So.
We'll just wing it.